Welcome to Noobshido Games. My name is Steven. This is Kamen Rider 01 episode 25 review. The title of this episode is I Will Save the Human Gears. This episode is pretty much a recap episode of what the story's been, but they did add in some new elements as well as the return of Jin and his new form, the Burning Falcon. So at the beginning, we start off in Arudo's lab. Isu was having trouble communicating with the satellite Zia, and in this scene, she has a kind of like an ice pack on top of her head. Um, and Arudo saw her with the and thought that like she's sick, but then of course, like Humor Gear is a robot. You can't get sick when you're a robot. Um, I mean, it's cute that they added these ice pack on top of her head, but it's really unnecessary. You would think that Izu, being Human Gear herself, would know that the ice pack on top of her head is not gonna help her solve these problem that she has communication with satellite Zia. Um, and then in this scene, we also have this new character, this Doctor Human Gears, which was I guess it was Isu that asked him for help to try to figure out, and it's just so conveniently that this doctor found a jammer inside one of the, I think, a book or something, um, and that was what's blocking the signal. So while the doctor trying to figure out how to like disable this jammer, Fua show up in the lab and inform Arudo that Horobi has escaped, and he thinks that someone helped Horobi escape because the surveillance system have been tampered with, and um, then the doctor thinks that the communication disruption must have been the work of Metsubujinrai.net. So, and then it turns out that the doctor um, was in charge of the Human Gear production 12 years ago, before the Daybreak incident, and he was the original creator of Horobis. So that was interesting. Um, then they go on and talk about that 12 years ago, kind of give the viewer a little bit of more history of what happened. So the Japanese government and Hidden Intelligence and Zaya, along with like other companies, you see logos and stuff like that. They were collaborating to build the experimental city designed to manage Human Gears. Um, then and Hidden was responsible for building various models of the Human Gear to support people's daily life. And one of the model, the father model, Human Gears, um, and I'm just gonna call it the Daddy Human Gears. That's what Horobi is. I guess not all Human Gears are created equal, because you see a little flashback that Arudo's thought about his father, which he was raised by a Human Gear. It's like a father figure to him. So I guess he is also a Human Gear, and then whereas he looks more like a father figure than Horobi. Horobi looks more like a K-pop or J-pop star. So, anyways, um, so Izu thinks that the satellite arc must has to do with the corruption of the Human Gears. Um, at that time, the arc's development was being spearheaded by Saya, um, and of course, Guy was the president at the time as well. Um, he had the arc learn about the human evil, and then as a result, the satellite arc was try to hack the Human Gears in order to launch a rebellion against humanity. And the four strongest hacked human gears ended up forming the metsubujinrai.net, and then you see a screenshot of it was like a Horobi, the hooded figure, which we still don't know who that is, Jin, and then there was a fourth person was like a rider, but I don't really recall. I didn't go back the old episode of which one that is. But anyways, um, and then Ark tried to launch itself into space, intended to destroy humanity, but Aruto's father created a Kamen Rider to fight against the Ark. Um, and Aruto's father used the power of Kamen Rider to stop the Ark's plan to launch into space. And then, as a result, the entire town uh, was gone in an explosion, I guess, and that was called the Daybreak incident. But then Hidden continued to build human gears and launched the satellite Sia just 4 years ago. Uh, so they didn't really launch satellite Sia un- um, until a couple of years after the Daybreak incident. Uh, so meanwhile, the Matsubu Jinrai.net secretly preparing to launch their crusade against humanity, and the Doctor calls it the extinguish keys, are the evil forces that exist to wipe out humanity, and then the pulverize keys are the power of good, helping humanity and human gears. So after the Doctor managed to disable the jammer device, um, he suggests that the mastermind behind the Ark, which is Guy, the president of Saya, uh, might know the whereabouts of Horobi. Then we switch scenes from the lab to Fua, Isu, and Aruto went to meet up with Guy and Yua. And again, Yua here, there's not much action with Guy and Yua in this episode. Um, and we didn't get to see Yua transform into a rider, which is kind of a waste. I'm hoping she'll get more screen time with her being in a rider form in later episode. I'm sure there will be, but it's just a matter of when we'll see that. So Guy and Yua was told that Hirobi escaped. Guy denied he has anything to do with it. And then in this scene here, we get to know more about what the intention of Guy is, what he really wants as an ultimate goal. So it seems like Zaya has been providing full weapon support to Ames. Ames, that's what Fua works for, in order to wipe out Metsubu.net. So Guy thinks that the Kamen Riders are mankind's greatest weapon to combat the threat, and Guy also thinks that there will be massive profit when he can sell the Kamen Rider, when the military and police adopt the Kamen Riders, and that is why Guy wants to really take over Hidden. So his ultimate goal is pretty much weapons manufacturing. And if there's more activities from Matsubu Jinrai, that means more weapon sales, and so that's pretty much what his whole goal is right now. And Isu then received a message from Satellite Zia, saying that there's an unidentified human gear spotted in Daybreak Town. So Fua thinks that gotta be Hirobi. And also Guy thinks that once he takes over Hidden, or buys Hidden, then his Kamen Rider Thouser will be the ultimate weapon. So after this, then Fua, Aruto, we see them kind of went to the woods. I guess they're on their way to Daybreak Town. This is kind of our first action scene, really, in the episode. We see that Fua is kind of pissed that AIM is being used by Saya, and then while Aruto and Fua is talking, there's some like hacked humor gear showed up, um, trying to fight them. So we see Aruto and Fua transform, and this scene I actually have to watch it like twice. At first I got a little confused because Aruto transformed into Shining a Sword Hopper, and Fua, of course, in his Vulcan Assault Wolf form. Um, but it didn't. It kind of caught me off guard, and when I watch it again, I realized that it's kind of interesting because they uses what they call the hybrid rise. So they kind of line up. Well, they probably don't have to line up in front of each other, but um, apparently the Assault Wolf kind of went through Aruto first and then to Fua, so that Aruto was able to transform into a Shining Assault Hopper form, because you need the Assault Wolf Poke Rise key, right? So, and then Fua transformed into the Assault Wolf form. So, which is kind of interesting. I don't recall them mentioning that before, but also like it begs the question, did they practice before this, that they know how to utilize the key to transform in this way? So, but anyway, this was pretty cool. Um, so they're fighting, and then Naruto told Fua to go first. He kind of threw him the kind of like the gun axe weapon, um, so that he can go. Fua can take off first to go look for Horobi. Then after Fua left, then he pulled out his metal cluster and transfer key and transform into that. Um, I mean, he could have transformed into that, but first it would have made the job a lot easier or faster. But but if he did, then we didn't get to see that new hybrid rise transformation. So then after that, we switch to our next action scene where we're at Daybreak Town. Uh, so Fua caught up to Horobi, um, and then you see Horobi kind of turns, and then you'll see this like red flame, and then it was then the burning falcon form show up. Um, like when I watched this, I thought it was Horobi that changed into the burning falcon form. Um, then burning falcon kind of pretty much kicks Fua's ass. Like he's like way too powerful. And then like after, and like looks like the burning falcon was trying to, this one scene when they were fighting, was trying to give Fua like a figure eight wrestling move or something in the air. so so after Fua was beat, then the burning falcon turns back into Jin. So I was like, what the heck? But then when I watch it again, and I think Horobi didn't really transform into the burning falcon. I think it was the burning falcon or Jin kind of appear in front of him, uh, while Horobi must have went off somewhere, because um, after Jin show up, he mentioned that Horobi's probably at the connected to the Ark by now or something, and then you see a scene of him picking up the driver. Um, I think it was one of the older Force Riser driver. Um, and then let's talk about that burning falcon um, suit. Like that looks like awesome. And if you're a driver collector, uh, I feel sorry for you. That's another driver you have to collect, the Slash Riser. Um, it looks kind of like the short riser that Fua uses, but it's red. I mean, and I think it's a premium Bandai item as well. So more money to spend for the collectors out there. But anyways, so when the burning falcon turns back into Jin. Uh, at that time after Fua got beat. So Aruto is when the doctor show up, and Fua, they're all surprised, like that Jin resurrected. They're like, are you human? Because I guess Jin doesn't have the headphone on his head anymore. He grew a pair of ears, so they were like, are you human? Um, but Jin said no, he has evolved because now he has ears and no headphones. But it's just like, but there is still something on his ear, but like just uh, like an earpiece or something. Um, so, anyways, and then it turns out that he was controlling the doctor. Um, so, but that's about it. Like Jin didn't really explain how he, his new power, or how he got resurrected. I guess that will probably be explained in the future episodes. Um, so it looks like Jin was just buying some time so that Horobi can connect to the arc. And Jin revealed that his ultimate goal is to free the human gear from serving humanity, and then he's just vanished using the burning falcon power. So, and then that was the end of the episode. So again, it's a decent recap episode. I mean, it's not just boring retelling of what's the story so far. They did add some review some new stuff, and we get to see a new rider form, and but that leaves a lot of question as well. Like yeah, like who Fee Horobi, you would assume is Jin. How did Jin get resurrected? And like where did he get that um, burning falcon key from? No, those are all very interesting. So I do look forward to future episodes to to get to find out more what's actually happening. So um, and that is all my review for episode 25, and hope to see you after episode 26. Thank you for watching.